Hi YouTubers, I wanted to try to give a little breakdown about hooking up an inverter to a battery. I imagine everybody knows how to do it already, but I just want to give a couple explanations and maybe some cons that people are experiencing, and maybe this may help. Anyhow, we have a battery, okay, one car battery, basically a 12 volt battery, 220 amp hours, and we have your positive lead and your negative lead, which go to the back of the inverter. So the negative lead goes to the negative connection on the inverter, and the positive lead goes to the positive connection on the inverter. Now this inverter I'm demonstrating is 1,000 watts. Okay, now keep in mind, 1,000 watts is not a lot of power. Now you will have power, you can operate a drill, you can operate things of 1,000 watts and less. Now keep in mind that if you're operating something, everything you operate, there will be a label on that item, whichever it may be, skill saw, grinder, television, just about everything you operate will have a little label, and it will give you a breakdown of how many watts it operates with or amps it operates with. Now roughly 1,000 watts is roughly 8 amps. So if your item, whichever that may be, says it's 10 amps, well, that's not going to operate off this inverter. All you're going to do is make the inverter go beep, and it's going to shut itself down. You want to make sure you have lots of room within the 1,000 watts. So the closer you get to 1,000 watts with a 1,000 watt inverter is going to make it impossible to operate from the inverter. Now if you're operating 500 watts from a 1,000 watt inverter, no troubles, the inverter will handle it. But if you're getting up there closer to the 1,000, all depends on what it is. It's going to create all the difference in the world of making the inverter go beep and then shutting down. Well, if it does shut down, it's very simple. All you have to do is flick the switch and flick it back on, and this will reset it, which will power the inverter back up, and you're good to go again with power. So keep in mind, if you hear the beep and it shuts itself down, you need to reset it before it's producing power again. Now always try to size yourself up for what you need in an inverter. Now I also want to bring to attention that keep in mind that when we're operating an inverter off of one battery, don't expect to get much time off that battery with one battery. It's just not going to happen. You need to increase your reserve power. So you want to add more batteries if you want to have longer running time. One battery, even if it's a brand new battery, it's not going to last a person a long time. All depends now what a person is operating. The higher the watts that the inverter is going to have to run, the more power that is going to drain from the battery. And the more power that drains from the battery, which will be less time the inverter will be able to operate. Keep that in mind. It's a very important thing to remember. The battery can only do what it can do, and the inverter can only operate with its recommended watts. There will be no miracles taking place. When the battery goes dead, the battery is dead. It needs a recharging, and it's very important to get that battery back up in charge. It's also important if a person can keep that battery up in charge and don't let it go down to the point where the inverter will not operate. Sometimes it's difficult to do, and the battery will go dead and it will come back up to a charge. But if a person can keep the battery fully charged, they are way better off. That's all. I hope it helped. Just a little video trying to make things simpler for people. It seems like a lot of people are having some difficulties with this type of thing, so I'm trying to make it simply explained the best way I can, and I hope it helped. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, please.